Hello and welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to another haphazard recording from the Roadkill Cafe. I'm your host, Lance Renard, and today's survey, essay, and interesting and fascinating information began with volcanoes. I, for some reason, started thinking about how the possibility of spoil tips and the waste product down underneath all this huge mounds can erupt and appear. This is a spoil tip in China, and they can appear very mountainous. Hey guys! And also it ran me into this beginning essay, ran me into curious photographs of like this, for instance. And I was thinking of the runways in Nazca, well, what are they? The lines, the Nazca lines, in relation to lava itself and how lava flows and forms and looks after it forms. And then these curious etchings in relation to, once again, spoil tips, and looking at Google Earth differences in spoil tips. So that's what I am going to be covering predominantly, but then that ran me into one more thing. And in the Nasca area, I started just looking around. This is that runway appearance in the area, and I started discovering some very curious anomalies in relation to what we see in mining. And then what was And as I was researching information on volcanic activity, I came across Potosi, and Potosi is a capital city in Bolivia. And got a little distracted because my next in the Bolivian Peru area, I started looking at the Nazca lines and became curious as to look for these in Google Earth. I thought that would be kind of fun to do. It shows the location right here, the location of the Nazca lines in Peru. And so I'm just going to go ahead and pop on over there right now. And I have been distracted in a couple of other ways during the downloading of images and details for this particular essay. And and it's drawing me into the Spanish silver mines, is what it's doing, to be blunt and specific. Now, once again, Nazca lines show over here, located in Peru, right on the edge of the coast near the large lake. And so here's the large lake, and edge of the coast would be right in this neck of the woods. And so we have Ica, Pisco, and the discolorations over here. We have Nasca showing right here, and then the Nazca lines would be right on the coast. So that should be possibly where this bell is, sort of thing. Let's have a quick look-see. And once again, check our coordinates from this location right here. It looks just to the left of the lake on the coast. And so once again, back off, and the lake is where? The lake just to the left of the lake on the coast. Once again, the lake just to the left would be right in this neck of the woods right here. And these white mountaintops always get me curious as to whether or not it's a snow-capped mountain or it is a mining area. And so, investigating these areas, I'm once again hunting. Once again, I am not seeing it. Lake Titicaca. Yeah, we got Lake Titicaca over here. It's an obscure terms. And the lake has an appearance of tiered terrain again. And there is Titicaca. And so now we'll get in close to Titicaca, and I'm going to turn this to view this sort of terrace that we have going on along the edge here. This sort of terraced, textured material. Very curious indeed. And here we have some of the anomalies. I'm thinking. Let's see here. I'm trying to get the view on these airport designs. This type of thing right here. Up along this way and along over here. And how this all seems to run off and down, and this all seems tiered along here. Tiered and textured as if it were mined at some time in the past. This has a texture across this way as well. And again, to back off slightly to look at how this is like a tail, almost a spiny tail sort of a thing, and still looking for those lines, but noticing a lot of runoff. Here, I'm going to go ahead and turn this so it comes toward us more, and all of this runoff look with all of these tiered. What is this coming up? Yeah, that's textured. That is a textured surface. So consider that to be a skin. I'm going to go ahead and turn this along this way, and then back off of it and consider that that is some sort of spine or back or side of something. And just giving a quick survey, I am still looking for the lines. This is interesting though. This part, all of this runoff and the way that it runs down over here. And then if I turn the view again, I'm sure we're going to see that tiered, almost mined sort of a texture all along here. And you see in size relationship, you have this entire town right here. Those are houses and buildings and people and roads in this little area. And it really does look curious as far as the terrain goes and the flow of the terrain. Very curious indeed along each side, as if they were... Now that's an overall texture. And my curiosity once again is just that. The cracked mud appearance. The only reason vegetation grows in an area is due to the, what's under the ground, the fertility of the area. And according to petrified biology, that is because something died there and left a bunch of blood and bone meal for the, blood meal and bone meal. That just is another volcanic sort of a appearance right here. Taipuma. Let's zoom in on Taipuma and take a quick preview of the terrain and landscape. I, once again, am still searching. And the way this flows down and around and over, drops, the upper texture, and yeah. Still not catching it. Taipuma. Now I'm going to go back again. This Lake Titicaca. And according to the survey that I just looked at, the Nazca lines are located just right here on the coast, right in this neck of the woods. And yep, Puerto San Juan. Yeah, Port of San Juan. And what's up over here north of Puerto San Juan? What is this area? Now, when you look at the dragon goo that Roger shows on Mud Fossil University, this is the poisonous stuff that comes out of the dragon's mouth, sort of thing. And I'm wondering what is here. He considers that naphthene is a liquid that, or he has displayed it as detail as a liquid that petrifies things a lot quicker. What is all this black goo? Really, really curious about this and the appearance of such and its discoloration in relation to the local area terrain. Right over by Puerto San Juan. So if one of you guys out in San Juan wants to drive on over there and tell me what is up with all that black goo, that would be nice. I would really appreciate that. Take me back to my little grass shack in Honolulu. Whoop, wait a minute, it's not Hawaii, it's Nazca in Peru. But yeah, sounds good, looks good on paper. Nobody told me. And so we're just still looking at, now see the curiosity of the water right here and the runoff coming down this way? That's just reality in my world. You know, this water runoff, period. It's not that difficult to discern, describe, or decipher. And still looking once again for those. Somebody mentioned in one of the comments, it looks like there are lines coming and hitting this right here. They mentioned in the comments these Nazca lines and how the appearance of an airport type thing. And this is curious. It comes off this way and this way, but is this a road that was incorporated? It appears to be a road incorporated to curve this around. Maybe that was a ploy. Maybe some sort of facility out here. Maybe it's just a remote compound area where people are hanging out. Looks like salt or something white, and so could be some other form of calcium. And this is quite curious indeed. Yeah, we're doing a whole lot of mining over here, and then the spoil tips of the mines, evidence of mining. I'm going to turn this, get a little better look. Well, they're all over actually. Here's a bunch more over on this side, a whole pile more over here. And yes, I like to turn my views so I get a better look at some of this craziness that we beset upon our Mother Earth. These, I was thinking these look almost like bushes, but that almost looks like a, well, it's piles, it's dump piles. It's got to be dump piles from all this huge hole, and they got to dump it somewhere. And then over time, these piles begin to settle down and run off. And you get this runoff here, and that is an assimilation of what we call a mountain range, very close to. And so the theory of, you know, mass amounts of mining done in the past, huge runoff areas and dump areas like these spoil tips are just intense. And I don't mean that in a joking way. But what somebody had mentioned to me was that see the strip where they're driving trucks up on this strip over here, he was suggesting, one of my subscribers, that this was, you know, their dump area. It looks like a runway. So the whole Nazca line thing, it's got that potential. I'd have to take a closer look at the terrain. But if you look at this terrain in an area of mining and where they're doing the dumping and the spoil dumping, and then you look at the facts of the buildup underneath the dump exploding, popping out, it's a strange and curious situation. That's quite a mine, if you don't mind. So back we go. What I have found up in this area is relatively pointless. I'm going to back off again and take a look at the area, San Juan, San Jose, look at where they say they are once again, all just right below San Jose. So There's San Juan. I'm really missing San Jose here. Chihuahua. So let's go ahead and put in San Jose. I'm not catching this. It should be right in front of me, right? S-A-N, and I'll try not to punch a hole through the keyboard. Okay, Nazca, San Juan, and Nasca monkey. There we go. Nasca monkey. Monkey. Nazca monkey. Okay, well, there's that monkey. I'll wait for a second because I'm not catching any of it. And maybe give it a moment or two to come in and show the monkey. And show the monkey. Okay, so in any other relationship, I can go down into a city and look at somebody's car, but for me to get down here, and there we go. And look, there's a monkey. Obviously, there's that monkey. My mistake. I didn't see it there. Well, that is just absolutely humorous. So I can't actually look at it. I can get a line drawing, a cartoon image. Sorry about laughing about it, but yeah, this is a curious situation, and now my response for my program is shot. It's not responding. Oh, it's just grand. There we go. So if you want to see these lines, and this is where I started right over here looking at all of these that are blurred and blah blah blah, blotted out or something, and then I finally got down to one of them, and the view that I actually was able to catch, isn't this strange, is a little line drawing of the there. That's not, I mean, that's okay. All right. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. All right, that's as far as this part of this one will go. There are other areas of interest that we... Oh, that was great, gang. That was just super duper. I'd love to investigate all of the other wonderful Nazca anomalies. However, I think these were... I can't help but laugh on this. I think these were, yeah. You go ahead and think what you want. My consideration is that they were from dumping waste material, and there was a lot of other types of technology, and whether or not people are drawing monkeys in the sand for space aliens, I'm not quite sure about that, but that's okay. They can do that. It doesn't bother me. These little poke holes along the top, once again, the reinforcement of a biological appearance. And also, not just that, but here would be the biological, which is very blurry. And this area right here would be a dump area where you have all of these pock marks. And I've shown already that the dump areas, they have these sinkhole type pock marks within them. There are other marks that look like they've exploded outward, and some that look like they've dropped inward, and some that look like they could be, you know, the outer edges of blood vessels also. So to investigate that sort of thing, this just goes on forever with these pock marks in this long drain area here. Let's take a look at the overall location and see this runoff is massive and immense and quite intense. And just to the east of Nasca do we find all of this runoff over here. And I would not be too overly surprised to find that there is still a great amount of silver and minerals in the area for mining as this thing. And once again, while I was hunting, I'm in the Nazca area. See, there's that marker right there. And I was looking at the terrain and how all this runoff seems to be flattened at the top and then runs down on the edges this way. curious detail. And then now I'm noticing these pock marks that are similar to the pock marks that we're finding over near California. And once again, the massive amount here, I'll turn the camera some to get a little interesting view of these pock marks and these craters, indentations that are everywhere. That looks like biology to me right there. I mean, that's just odd. And it is over to the far right of the Nasca area. I mean, far. What is far? Getting back to that original starting zone, which is right over here. And it seems to be quite a distance. And we'll continue to seek out and notice these mining operations, what appear to be. If that's a mining operation, it's really, really old. And once again, we have these pock marks all around here and down the sides. And yeah, all of the flows. And notice the discoloration, again, covering. And there is quite a number of strange mountainous anomalies that appear in this neck of the woods. I'm going to back off on Peru here and take a look at the overall continent and consider what could have been and why this has this coloration and this has this coloration. Minor details that are curious anomalies. And this is so bright and white I can't even see into it. But I'm wondering if that's a huge mining area. So I'll go ahead and put on the borders and labels and see what we are actually looking at here. And that is a Potosi depth. Potosi Department, Potosi. Potosi. Fascinating, Captain. Potosi. And why is it so brilliantly white? Is my curiosity. And so let's go Potosi. P-O-T-O-S-I. Boom. Potosi Wikipedia. Okay, in Bolivia. And it says Potosi is the capital city and a municipality of the Department of Potosi in Bolivia. It is one of the highest cities in the world at nominal 4,900 meters. It was location of the Spanish colonial mint. Well, a mountain being made of silver. Soft, white, lustrous metal. Well, there you go. It's a silver mountain. And so I guess we found the silver mountain of Potosi. And that is bright. Holy cow. And so I'd imagine the amounts of silver mined from there, or continuously being mined from there, or I wonder if they say it ran out of silver. The silver was taken by llama mule train by llama and mule train of the Pacific coast, shipped north to Panama, carried blah blah blah. Well, what about the deal with whether or not it still has any? Because history and silver extraction. National Mint of Bolivia is a mint located near Potosi in Bolivia. And coinage minted during this period, blah, blah, blah. First, second mint, first mint. Basis of rudimentary, 2 and 12 for 15. I always laugh at the dates they have here. Sorry I'm glazing over this so quickly, but I do not need or desire to totally put you to sleep. Is an interesting coin struck from the mint in Potosi in 1768. 1776 was our big one. So that was okay, looking at the Bolivia mint, the mining, and this all started with the Nazca lines. And in reality, this actually started right here in the Phoenix area in the Sonora Desert, where I began to survey this embryo looking thing, and then noticed some sort of holes and craters, and then as I zoomed in more and more, I noticed more and more of these craters and these pock marks, and these massive amounts of pock marks started showing up, as you can see in front of you right here. And this is what led me into this whole survey, and over to Nasca was these pock marks right here. Started it all. And I began to survey around and come up toward, and I thought, well, what's close to this? And lo and behold, the Grand Canyon is just up the flow here. There's Phoenix, and there's Arizona, and there's the Grand Canyon right up here. So I once again was drawn from the Grand Canyon over to the Nazca lines into a silver mine. And now in my next essay and video and survey, I'm going to be checking out more of the history of the Spanish silver trade, I believe, and of course looking at geology. You never know where this is going to lead me from one beginning to the final ending. And so that's all part of the haphazard fun here, to inadvertently stumble across details that I didn't expect at all. And so the separation of this island is what I was beginning with, and it ended up in silver mining from a huge mining operation. And how many others have we had on our planet, plane, existence, universe? All right, thanks for watching. Come back again. I'm going to have a great and exciting episode every time here on the Haphazard Productions at the Roadkill Cafe. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and share. And have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.